CTV News with Jack Morse.
Here's a live look at 100 in Barrie. The rush to head north is on as people get ready for the Victoria Day long weekend. Thanks for joining us. The long weekend's finally here, marking the unofficial start to summer. Our region's expecting to see an influx of tourists, but thanks to excessive snow in the winter and a wet, cold spring, there are delays in opening in some places. CTV's Rob Cooper joins us live tonight with more. Rob.
Well, Jack, more delays this long weekend than just the traffic along Highway 400 behind me coming through Barrie. The Trent Severn Waterway has a number of locks that remain closed because of high water levels, but certainly not enough to keep people away from heading to cottage country to kick off the summer season. It didn't take long for traffic to build along Highway 400 through Barrie this afternoon. That's northbound traffic on the left, southbound on the right. Cottages, resorts, and campgrounds are the ultimate destination for many.
We just plan on getting away, enjoying the sun, enjoying company with friends, and just having a good time.
It's opening day on the Trent Severn Waterway. About 120,000 boats will pass through the system this summer. However, locks in our region, 42 to 45, remain closed due to high water levels.
And we're working to get those locks open as soon as possible, but we want to make sure that everyone is safe, so that's why they're closed.
Police are reminding drivers they will be out all long weekend looking for bad drivers. Gas prices remaining high, but not enough to keep people from traveling. The KOA campground in Barrie is sold out for the weekend.
The busier the May long weekend, the more people that we have returning throughout the season. We like to get everyone in really early and see what it's about so that they keep rebooking with us and keep coming back for the rest of the summer.
It's a weekend, a bunch of us get together, families, and we get the trailers out. We get them kind of ready for the year. We do a lot of provincial park camping, but this is our first park where we can do a full hookup and just get the trailers out, enjoy the weekend, and get ready for the summer.
Absolutely. Raleigh Resort Spa Marina is located in Port Severn. It has about 150 staff on the payroll during the busy summer months.
It's like opening day. Everybody's psyched, pumped, and we're ready to go. It is huge because we really get the big influx of people where they really start coming in droves.
All right, back live along Highway 400 in Barrie. We can tell you that officials at the Trent Severn Waterway, Jack, say they will reopen those locks again as soon as it's safe to do so. As for all of this behind me, it's expected to continue right throughout the evening and, of course, into tomorrow, possibly the afternoon. So keep it in mind if you are hitting the road. Reporting live next to Highway 400, I'm Rob Cooper, sending it back to you in the newsroom.
All right, thank you, Rob, for that. With the Ford government bringing the party to provincial parks this summer, another place expected to be a popular spot this weekend is Wasaga Beach. But there's some new rules you need to know if you're planning to drink on the beach. CTV's Luke Smart breaks it down.
The sun is shining, the water glistening. Wasaga Beach is ready for another summer.
I think it's actually going to be really busy. I hope it is because this place is beautiful and it deserves all the people to see it.
We're definitely going to get the tourists here. We've got a beautiful beach here and everybody wants to visit this summer.
This year, the Ontario government announced you can drink in provincial parks if you're of age, of course. The town of Wasaga Beach taking a bit of the fizz out of that announcement. Logistically, this included the beaches along the strip before the town stepped in and said not so fast.
We understand where the province is coming from, but in Wasaga Beach, in our parks and on beach areas 1 and 2, that we are now controlling that area, there will be no alcohol.
Beachgoers who choose beaches 3 to 6 will still be allowed to drink.
It's a family beach, and listen, there's nothing to say that families can't have a drink and be reasonable, but we want to make sure that Wasaga Beach always remains about fun, and fun for everybody, with no impediments.
The decision seems pretty widely supported.
I believe that drinking is a good idea where you're supposed to drink.
This is where the memories are made with all the kids and everything, so I do agree with that. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Businesses are indifferent about the decision.
It's always illegal, right? Anyone can pretty much have a drink as long as they put it in a different cup and they're not running around acting inappropriate.
While businesses not on the strip welcome the bylaw, and those looking for a pint encouraged to stop on in as patio season is officially underway.
If they want to travel only about 4-kilometer walk from the main beach, they are free to come down here and enjoy a nice cold beverage and some food over here. So I don't see that as being a damper on anything at all.
Bylaw officers and the OPP will be out on beaches 1 and 2 this weekend enforcing the new rules, while beaches 3 and 6 will be patrolled by park rangers where open alcohol is permitted. Luke Samard, CTV News, Wasaga Beach.
Meantime, Wasaga Beach Mayor has an update about the ongoing construction on Beach Area 1.
But our beach is still open. Our businesses are still open. We've got the greatest business people, most friendly people that you would ever want to come in and do business with.
Access to the area is limited due to the construction. You can get onto the beach, one, either through the Spruce Street parking lot or 3rd Street. The mayor says the town is looking to create more access points as the summer goes on. Now, as we go into this long weekend, here's a reminder of what's open and what's closed in the city of Barrie. Recreation, Community Services and City Hall will be closed Monday. Transit will run on its regular weekend schedule, but there will be no service Monday. Curbside collection will continue as scheduled. Downtown parking is free except for waterfront lots. For GO service, more major track upgrades along the Barrie line. Between Saturday and Monday, there will be no GO transit between the Downsview Park and Union Station. Riders are encouraged to use the TTC there. Metrolinx says the track closures are required for improvements that will allow faster and more frequent service. Trains remain on their normal schedule between Allendale Station and Downsview Park. Regular service along the full line set to resume Tuesday. A difficult flooding season in Muskoka is mostly over, but there could be lingering effects. The Ministry of Natural Resources has issued a watershed conditions statement for water safety along the Muskoka River. You're advised to be extra careful near dams as high water levels may have washed away signs, barriers and other safety features. Bracebridge says water levels are expected to continue to fall, but if your property has flooded, you should take steps to prepare for more water. Some forest access roads might also be impassable from lingering flood damage. The MNR's advisory is in effect through next Friday. Now, with all that weather talk, Casey Colby is here with our look at weather tonight. Casey.
It's kind of gray out here right now. Did you enjoy the sunshine today, Jack? I think most people did. Yeah, it was lovely, lovely, lovely. The clouds are rolling in. It's all part of the whole Victoria Day equation, long weekend equation as far as Mother Nature goes. Let's talk about first weather. Let's talk about first weather, brought to you by the graveldrivewayguy.com, or your local gravel driveway expert. 18 degrees out here. Yeah, but the winds are picking up. It is a northwest wind. It is a cool wind. 17 kilometers an hour. Gust as high as about 40 a little later on. Look at all those double digits. 19 degrees. In the Sunshine City of Orillia right now, 19 degrees. In Owen Sound, it looks like 20 degrees. 20 degrees in this fair city of Toronto, and 14 up Parry Soundway, 17 in beautiful Alliston, Ontario. This is radar satellite images, and a lot of what you're seeing here, it's false echoes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really not anticipating any shower activity this evening as far as what you're looking at. It looked like blips, but that's just coming up as radar noise. We're not anticipating any shower activity. Well, let's be honest, we are looking at some shower activity in the long-range forecast. However, let's talk the immediacy of it. And coming up, Jack, in just a few minutes' time, the hottest day and the sunniest day of the Victoria Day long weekend is just ahead. I'll let you know when it is. A few minutes' time, back inside.
Well, that's news you can use, Casey. Thank you. The warm weather means many people will be using this weekend to get outside, working in yards and gardens.
Makes you feel happy, makes you feel alive, and they're just so beautiful. And it's been a long winter, so it just absolutely makes a change in your moods.
It's going to be very busy this summer because they have multiple choices. Like they have a great choice of the flowers, plants, everything.
Here's a look at Bradford Greenhouse Garden Gallery just outside of Barrie today. A busy spot. Lots of people looking to get plants, flowers, and even some advice to make sure their projects are a success.
We can start planting. We're all anxious after the weekend, but really we still have to watch Mother Nature. We're confident she's, going to give us some beautiful high temperature. But if you're putting a lot of annuals in, just keep an eye on the weather. If there is a risk of frost, you'll want to cover them.
Don't forget, it's also a good time to get your lawn ready for the summer, raking, reseeding, and fertilizing. The township of Ramera officially broke ground on its new wastewater treatment plant today. It's a major step in modernizing the township's drinking and wastewater systems while protecting the environment. The project on Barnstable Drive got $30 million in provincial spending. It replaces an aging spray irrigation field with an underground system, which the township says will improve year-round performance while protecting nearby wetlands and Lake Simcoe. A driver and Barrie police officer have been hurt after a multi-vehicle crash on Bayfield Street this afternoon. Officers were responding to another call when the crash happened. Police say a woman was hospitalized with what are described as minor injuries. The officer was hurt but didn't need medical attention. Both vehicles sustained front-end damage. Barrie police are investigating after an attempted roofing scam against a senior. Back in March, officers were called to a local bank where an 84-year-old man was trying to withdraw a large sum of money for roof repairs. The man says he was at home when he heard loud banging coming from his roof. Then two men showed up and offered to fix his chimney. Police say the men broke the chimney, demanded payment for its repair, and threatened to report it if the elderly man refused to pay. The contract is listed name of the company, the Ontario Roof Repairs and Masonry. If anyone has information, they are asked to call police on that. Bracebridge firefighters battled a fire at a retirement home this afternoon. Crews called to Muskoka Hills Retirement Villa. The fire was found in a second-floor room contained by the building's sprinkler system. The town's fire chief says all the residents were safely evacuated, but there's significant smoke and water damage throughout the west wing of the facility. East Wing residents returned to their units now. Those displaced by the fire are being put up at a local hotel. The cause is being investigated, but is not considered suspicious. A 31-year-old man has been charged after fleeing the scene of a crash in Muskoka. Officers were called to the single-vehicle crash on Raymond Road near Beatrice Town Line in Muskoka Lakes yesterday afternoon, just after 4. Police say the driver fled the scene. The OPP used their K-9 unit and emergency response team, finding him 3 hours later. The Muskoka Lakes Township man faces impaired driving charges along with failing to remain at the scene. A landmark ruling by the Supreme Court today recognizing intimate partner violence as its own legal basis to sue for civil damages. That's centered on the case of a woman who was abused during her 16-year marriage, and it paves the way for financial compensation beyond assault and emotional distress. Here's CTV's Adrienne Gabriel on the legal significance and what it means for victims.
I found myself in a very bad predicament.
At 17, Wendy Butler says she thought she'd met her Prince Charming, though for nearly 2 decades, she says she was trapped in an abusive relationship.
I didn't tell anyone because of shame. It took me a long time to leave.
What the mother of 2 says she experienced went beyond physical bruising.
The abuse that I endured, it was physical, emotional, and psychological. And I lost myself.
Today, Canada's highest court ruled in favor of creating a new tort of intimate partner violence. A tort is a legal term for a civil claim that allows a person to seek damages after being harmed.
The law already gave victims the ability to seek redress for physical assault and for sexual assault.
This new tort recognizes that intimate partner violence isn't always physical or sexual.
Coercion and manipulation, humiliation, isolation.
As part of Justice Nicholas Kazirur's 200-page ruling, the case briefing outlines that a victim must show that their partner intentionally engaged in abusive conduct and that the conduct amounted to coercive control when viewed in context.
Today's a big day.
It is a very big day.
For survivors who can now seek justice after years of being controlled, confined, and psychologically harmed.
There have been few, if any, decisions in my 25-year legal career that has been as consequential to the field of gender-based violence as this one today.
If there's someone watching right now who's in a violent relationship, what would your message be to them?
There's hope. There's a chance for new beginnings.
This new legal pathway for survivors will develop and evolve in the courts over the years and decades to come. Many hope it will also drastically decrease intimate partner violence and abuse of all kinds. Adrienne Gabriel, CTV News, Angus, Ontario.
New details in the trial of Gabriel DeSecco, accused of murdering his best friend more than 2 years ago in Alliston. CTV's Mike Arcelidis reports, but first a warning, this story contains graphic details which may be disturbing to some viewers.
You're lying to me again and again and again. You do know.
Your mom's car has f***ing bullets in it, man.
This is Gabriel DeCecco talking to police.
There's no I don't know anymore. There's blood and bullets in her car.
DeCecco on trial accused of first-degree murder following the discovery of his best friend, 24-year-old William Schernhammer's body in a ditch in Alliston 9 days after Schernhammer's family reported him missing when he told them he'd gone out to buy cigarettes with DeCecco, who first spoke with police the next day, denying he knew where Schernhammer was or what had happened to him.
I've heard him in the past saying people wanted to kill him.
Initially telling officers he dropped off his best friend as Schernhammer met up with an unknown woman.
Who hurt William? You do know.
Later, DeCecco's story evolved, telling police while on the side of the road that night, they were approached by a masked man dressed in black who emerged from a field and then fired 3 or 4 shots, hitting Schernhammer before DeCecco loaded his friend in the car and drove away.
I told you the person that did it to him were masked up, dressed in black. I don't know. I don't know who it was.
DeCecco then showed police where he dumped his friend's body, saying he later tossed Schernhammer's cell phone.
Will had enough energy to get back in. I grabbed him, I pulled him in, and then I just drove off.
The drive with an officer was audio recorded prior to DeCecco being placed under arrest.
Did you find him? I found him.
We can give some closure to Mom, right?
Amid several hours of police interrogation, DeCecco unexpectedly claimed to one detective that he had been sexually violated by Schernhammer years ago.
He raped me. I took sleeping pills to sleep. I guess they're really strong. And I woke up and he was raping me.
He said he came forward to police and claims officers did not investigate the allegations. DeCecco had been driving his mother's car that night, which was found to have several bullet holes through the front passenger door, blood on the passenger seat, and a cigarette. The trial is scheduled to continue on Tuesday. Mike Arsledy, CTV News, Barrie.
There was lots of excitement at the Athletic Culture Stadium last night. The Barrie Baycats taking the mound for the first time this season.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Enjoy the game.
Hundreds of people bundled up for the season opener. It's the first time the team has played since falling in the finals last season, and fans were ready to take in the game.
Extremely excited. I'm ready to cheer, and it's just nice to be back here, and let's go Baycats!
I'm just hoping that we can make it this year to the championship again and win it.
You got some good ball players, and they're very dedicated, and they come every night and they play the best that they can. And I'm really hoping and praying that they do win the championship this year. They well deserve it.
Last night's game also had games and events for the kids.
Fly ball left field. Pretty deep. It's up, and it is gone!
The Baycats started strong against the Toronto Maple Leafs last night with a home run in the second inning. It was deja vu in the next. The Baycats homered again. They added 2 more runs and went on to win the game 6-1 over the Maple Leafs. The Baycats are back on the field in London tonight. Still to come, a local swim team continues to collect hardware. A look at the Georgian Bay Squall Masters swim team and what's made them so successful in such a short time. Plus, out for a stroll with her ducklings, we check in on the adventures of Daisy Duck at the Barrie Public Library. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Presented by Paul Sadlin Motors.
Music, it's a small community, so when something's really good, we all want to be part of it.
We have an amazing music scene here. Having people come together in community, listen to some amazing local artists, brings the downtown alive. It brings our city alive.
Troubadour Festival 2026 is going to be off the hook. Road Amory's got the Watchmen, Bahamas, going to be great.
Some compare it to a fine wine. Seasoned athletes who've won 4 consecutive provincial championships, even though they've only been around for 5 years.
And to my knowledge, no other team has won provincial championships 4 years in a row.
Nancy Black heads up the Georgian Bay Squall Masters swim team. They've won 76 gold medals, 56 silver medals, and 61 bronze medals in individual and relay events.
An adult program like ours, an adult master swimming program, is very good for their physical well-being, the mental well-being, and social health.
Why do I do it? It fills my heart and my soul. It just brings me so much happiness.
Next year, we're talking already about Strive for 5.
The Georgian Bay Squall is now sending 78 swimmers to the national competition in Windsor. The Barrie Public Library has a new flock of little friends, and yesterday they had their first big adventure. Library staff guided Daisy Duck and her 9 newly hatched ducklings from the rooftop to Lake Simcoe, their natural habitat. Daisy waddled along as her ducklings got a ride in a container to the lake where they swam for the first time. Daisy Duck's return to the library has been a spring tradition for more than 10 years. Staff say they don't get tired of it. The YMCA of Simcoe Muskoka is set to get another boost from its new Barrie location. This week, Tatham Engineering announced $100,000 in a commitment for the new facility. They've been working with the YMCA for years leading up to the construction to recognize the donation. The new Health Services Lounge will be named the Tatham Health Lounge, serving as a dedicated space for rehab programs. The $70 million Barrie facility is expected to be done by next year. A new plaque was unveiled at Royal Victoria Regional Health Centre this week in honor of the money donated by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association last month. The association donated $25,000 to the RVH Foundations. The proceeds raised from the 2025 Run for Innisfil. The plaque recognizes the organization's charitable efforts supporting healthcare right here in our region. For all our local events, along with other stories, you can go to our website. That's where you can watch our news live online and find local stories and breaking news as it happens. Just head to ctvnews.ca/Barrie or scan that QR code on your screen. According to the CMHC, housing starts are down nearly a quarter from this time last year. Prices have fallen that much from their 2022 peak. To break down what's going on, we've got real estate broker Peggy Hill. Thank you for joining us, Peggy.
Thanks for having me.
So the first question, the 5-year fixed rate mortgages, they're trending upward. What does that say about the market right now?
So I can tell you the last few weeks have been busy, and as you can see, the bond market was down. The end of April, beginning of March, bond market was down. So our rates were down. We were getting a 3.59, 3.69. So there were a lot of first-time buyers with pre-approvals that they got from that time that they needed to use. So that's what I attribute to the fact that we've been kind of busy in the last little while. Now, the bond market has gone up since. I mean, the war is not helping anybody. And the bond market's up and down too because they don't know what to expect. So I think they're pricing in some inflation, thinking that, you know, the gas prices are going to start really affecting the economy, but we'll see. As far as I can see, I don't see any hikes coming right now.
Now, of course, uncertainty affects prices. Do you think prices are going to fall anymore, or have we hit the floor here?
Uncertainty does affect prices. The thing that affects prices the most is consumer confidence. And unfortunately, when people don't feel good, they don't feel like buying houses. But we have seen a segment of the market coming back in, the ones that are buying and selling, because they are finally realizing, okay, I'm not going to get what my house sold would have been worth in 2022, but guess what? I'm not going to pay for a house what I did in 2022. So as far as prices falling, I think we're pretty close to a bottom. Like, we're back to probably 2019 prices, which is what the market wanted, was to take away all those COVID gains because they weren't real. So when you have gains that aren't based on reality, they tend to retract.
So tell me, what's it going to take to get more first-time buyers into the market now?
So our first-time buyers have been saving us because they have been. So right now, like I said, when they were getting 369, it made sense. So what needs to happen is the rates need to stay down, because when first-time buyers buy, they buy because rent is just as expensive as owning a home. So if we can keep those interest rates down where it's affordable for a first-time buyer, then we will have a solid market and we'll have first-time buyers in it. But the other thing that's happened is that there's been a lot of building, and unfortunately, there's been a lot of building of rentals. So we have an abundance of rentals, and even more coming up, because, you know, during COVID, the whole mindset was affordability. So they were building rentals. Well, they're ready, and now we don't know what to do with them all.
Okay, thank you so much for your insight, Peggy. We've been speaking to Peggy Hill of the Peggy Hill Team Realty. Now let's check in with Casey in the garden.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hot spot this Victoria Day weekend could be us, right across Canada? Exactly. And I'll tell you exactly where within our region and what the temperature could be, or is forecasted to be. All that coming up in just a few minutes' time. Our weather watcher artiste, have a look. Olivia says, I'm looking for the sunny side of the street this Victoria Day weekend, Mr. Weather Boy. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
The Real Estate Spotlight is brought to you by the Peggy Hill Team.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And next week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see Journey for when they come to Toronto on November 4th.
So make sure you're listening Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
Thank you for sending those in. This week we celebrated mothers on Picture This. Congratulations to Vivian Thompson, who had the pick of the week. Next week we want to see your May flowers. Show us how your garden grows. Send it in to picturethis@ctv.ca for your chance to be featured. Now, speaking of how your garden's going to grow, you're promising me warm this weekend. Casey.
Oh, we're promising, promise delivered, according to Mother Nature. Yeah, get those pictures. You're going to be busy, ladies and gentlemen, because, well, we already have the garden alive. It's been a little slower than normal, but it is needing a shot in the arm, courtesy of Mother Nature. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is your forecast, starting with the temperature outside your door right now. How about 18 degrees in the Sunshine City of Aurelia? Whole bunch of 17s. Newmarket, Alliston, Collingwood, Barrie, Gravenhurst, 15 in Parry Sound, and call it 18 degrees out Mount Forest Way. This is the almanac for today, 18 and 3. We're almost there as far as normal temperatures. A record 29.2 back in 1998 for record heat. Can we do better than that this weekend? We shall see. Low of minus 2.8 way back in 1873. Sun rises 5:50, sets at 8:40, 14 hours and 50 minutes of daylight. Roll that forecast radar for me, would you please, Sully? And here we go, taking a look. Look at the northern end of the province, the top of the province, and, well, we get a little bit too. When does that arrive and how much rain? Well, let's break it down, take a look at some of the numbers. Clearing skies, ladies and gentlemen. This is southern tip of Georgian Bay, Lake Simcoe, overnight 8, 9, and 10 degrees. Holding on to double digits in Owen Sound. Nice. And then for tomorrow, increase in cloud cover as per the forecast radar. There's a 40% chance of an afternoon shower, even a risk of a thunderstorm. Yeah. Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 9 degrees overnight, clearing skies. A little star walk for you, stargaze. 20, 22, 23, increase in cloud cover, 60% chance of some shower activity and possibly even a thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon. Perry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Haliburton, 7 and 9 degrees overnight, clearing skies. Everybody gets clearing skies. I'm watching the skies start to break up right now. 18, 19, 20, 21 degrees for a high tomorrow in Haliburton. Increase in cloud cover, and there is a 40% chance of showers on your weekend. Start the weekend anyway on the Saturday for the Victoria Day long weekend. That's tonight and tomorrow. Now time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast. And it looks like this. Simcoe County, Sunday, 22 degrees. Yeah, nothing but sunshine. Victoria Day, 27 degrees. How lovely is that? 27, 16. Well, double digits overnight. Very nice. And then Tuesday arrives and there's cloudy skies, 40% chance of some shower activity and a peak of sunshine for you on the Wednesday, and still a 40% chance of showers and 17 degrees. So we're dipping a bit. This is the 5-day extended forecast, York region. Sunday, sunny Sunday, 25, 29 degrees. Hot spot in Canada if this unfolds the way it should. Ladies and gentlemen, as per Mother Nature, 29 degrees and sunshine on the holiday Monday. Tuesday looks like sun and cloud, slight chance of a shower, still very, very warm, 29. This is, of course, without the humidex. And then 21 degrees, sun and cloud mix, slight chance of a passing shower. This is the 5-day extended forecast. Muskoka, Pierce Sound, Haliburton, sunny Sunday. All the way around, 22 degrees. Monday, the holiday Monday, looks gorgeous for everybody. 27 degrees on Victoria Day. Tuesday looks like the clouds roll in, slight chance of a shower, still remaining very close, as my great-grandmother used to say, very close as far as temperature goes. And then Wednesday arrives in 16 degrees and a 60% chance of shower activity with the holiday long weekend, Victoria Day long weekend. Everybody's back out on the water, right? Time now for the Marine Report. Brought to you by Suzuki Marine. And we're going to start with northern Lake Huron and southern Lake Huron. Looks like there's a strong wind warning for both. We're looking at winds out of the southwest, 15 knots. And it looks like waves anywhere from 1 to 1.5 to 2 meters is what we can expect into tomorrow. This is a look at the Marine Report for Georgian Bay and Lake Simcoe, and we're looking at winds out of the southwest, 15 knots in both, and waves anywhere from 0.5 to 1 meter. So, yeah, what a wonderful way to start off life on the water. Jack, back inside.
Toronto's still buzzing after a dramatic downtown event promoting Drake's Midnight 3 album drop. CTV's Michelle Dubé looks at the fire and ice that lit up the 6.
Toronto's most iconic landmark got an icy makeover as Drake used his hometown as a backdrop to roll out long-anticipated new music.
I'm tuned in. I'm already tuned in. One earphone's in, the other one in. Listening all day, man. We love Drake.
Following day-long speculation, hundreds gathered at the base of the CN Tower, not knowing what they were in for. This fan rushed in from the U.S.
It's going to be iconic. You already know anytime Drake does something, he does it big.
He runs this city. We all came out. Drake runs this city. I just want to be here. I want to meet the guy.
The build-up for Drake's Iceman album has been extensive, from iced-out chairs at the Raptors game to the unveiling of the release date hidden inside an ice sculpture that sparked a frenzy and international attention. Culminating in this big moment, dozens of projectors creating the illusion of a tower encased in ice.
Say, bro, we love you, but all my words really
The spectacle in the 6 unfolding on a live stream with cameos from comedian Shane Gillis and Drake's son, Adonis. Full of scenes the famous rapper had been spotted shooting all around the city, including the explosion that sparked backlash. The 39-year-old is one of the world's most streamed artists, has a key to the city, and with permission from City Hall, got to sport the chain of office in the mayor's office, also getting some private time in council chambers.
I get a little bit emotional, you know. He's done so much for the city.
Fans overwhelmed by the experience. But even those who think it's all a little much were treated to a free fireworks display to cap it all off. And a midnight surprise, not 1, but 3 new albums dropped. Call it a stunt, call it a spectacle. The icy rollout, certainly hard to miss.
Michelle Dubé, CTV News.
Still to come, If you're looking to do some traveling this long weekend, be prepared to open your wallet. A look at where gas prices stand and the best time to fill up your tank. Plus, we'll recap tonight's top stories. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Recapping our top stories, gridlock on the 400 as thousands make their way to cottage country. Police are out looking for bad drivers, but even gas prices aren't enough to stop people from coming up. That congestion expected to run into tomorrow morning. Wasaga Beach is taking a bit of the fizz out of the province's recent announcement okaying open liquor in provincial parks. Beach Area 1 and 2, now under control of the town, will be alcohol-free this summer. Beachgoers will still be able to drink at areas 3 through 6. New details in the trial of Gabriel Dachecko, accused of murdering his best friend, 24-year-old William Schernhammer, in Alliston 2 years ago. Recorded interrogations tell competing stories, where a masked man came out of the woods and fired at them. Then Dachecko dumped the body. The pain at the pumps is getting worse. The national average price has climbed over $1.90 a litre. CTV's John Venavalle-Rouse looking at what this means for drivers.
For those filling up while hauling up extra items to the cottage this weekend, the answer to one question was near universal.
How are you feeling about the gas price this Victoria Day weekend? Bad. Yeah, it's very expensive.
At this highway gas stop north of Toronto on the way to cottage country, drivers said the high price wasn't keeping them from traveling, but was making the trip a little less enjoyable.
When I looked at it, I thought, yeah, okay, well, and I said a little prayer that God would bring it down at some point so we could afford it better, but it is what it is.
According to the website Gas Buddy, the national average price is $1.90 compared to $1.39 a year ago, making it 51 cents more compared to last Victoria Day weekend. Some drivers said the trip to and from the cottage was costing them an extra $30 in gas this year.
It hurts and it's not what you want, but it's a necessary evil for us because it is summertime.
In Vancouver, gas remains above $2.20, which some think could become the national average this summer if the blockades at the Strait of Hormuz continue to constrain oil supplies globally.
If the Strait remains closed for another few weeks, there's certainly increasing chances that Canada could take out its previous 2022 record of $2.11 a litre.
And now there is some concern about supplies of motor oil and warning some brands may get harder to come by.
The motor oil sections in many stores across Canada, North America, may wind up having less selection and certainly some products not being available whatsoever.
Meanwhile, gas expert Dan McTigg says if motorists want to save money, they should try to buy their gas after 6 p.m. because in most cities, he says, the price drops a few cents a litre in the evenings. John Venavalle-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
The TSX was down 434 points. The Dow down 537. The NASDAQ down 410. In commodities, oil was up, closing at $101.02 a barrel. Gold down, finishing at $4,561 an ounce. And our dollar was down, ending the day at 72.72 cents U.S. To sports, the last Canadian team in the Stanley Cup playoffs is one win away from advancing to the Eastern Conference Final after a convincing 6-3 win over the Sabres in Buffalo.
And played to Demidov from Caulfield. What a move, Hudson! Caulfield scores!
The Montreal Canadiens scored 3 unanswered goals late in the second period to push the Sabres to the brink of elimination. A potential series deciding Game 6 goes tomorrow night in Montreal. The Canadiens leading Buffalo 3-2 in their best of 7.
Carlson, he springs a man, Mitch Marner, who's in, and he stuffs it home! Mitchell Marner!
At the same time, the Vegas Golden Knights advance after defeating the Anaheim Ducks, thanks in part to a spectacular goal from former Toronto Maple Leaf Mitch Marner. His nifty finish opened the scoring, and the Knights never looked back, going on to win 5-1. Vegas will now take on the Colorado Avalanche in the Western Conference Finals. The Montreal Victoire struck first in the PWHL Walter Cup final against Ottawa.
These two teams, overtime history in the playoffs. Clarity in front, and they score! Montreal steals Game 1 at home.
Montreal's Nicole Gosling scored with less than 3 seconds left in regulation to force overtime. Then Abby Rock scored the game winner 2 minutes and 29 seconds into that overtime. Game 2 is a best-of-5 series. Goes tomorrow afternoon at Place Belle in Laval. Still to come, getting ready for the World Cup. How a Canadian goalkeeper is using his time playing with Lionel Messi to prepare for the world stage. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Your primetime lineup for tonight at 8 o'clock, our CTV2 movie, Ghost Rider. At 10:30, Corner Gas and CTV News at 11. With less than a month to go to the World Cup here on home soil, Dane St. Clair is battling for the top spot as Canada's #1 goalkeeper. He sat down with CTV chief anchor Omar Sachedina.
Saved by St. Clair. St. Clair with another really good block. St. Clair with his biggest save of the night.
Qatar 2022, and now Dane St. Clair is about to represent Canada again in his second World Cup.
That is a great save by Dane St. Clair.
But there's still a big unknown, whether he'll be starting in goal.
It's a team, and we want to do what's best for our country and put the guys out there that the coach thinks and believes in that can do the job. And of course, I think that's myself, but at the same time, respecting the coach's decision.
Dane St. Clair with a magnificent save.
Born in Pickering, Ontario, the 29-year-old now plays for Inter Miami.
Obviously, playing on such a global stage and a global team, I think is really preparing me for such a global tournament this summer, and it was a large part of the reason why I decided to go there.
The pressure here, Lionel Messi.
It also happens to be the home of soccer great Lionel Messi, who went from taking shots on St. Clair to joining forces with him.
Over to the far side it goes. Messi for goal.
What's that like? I mean, is it daunting, or have you just sort of accepted the fact that he's just part of the team? You got to approach it that way.
No, I think you got to approach it like he's a part of the team. Of course, he's the greatest to ever play, but to be able to kind of put myself in front of that and to be able to challenge myself on a daily basis, I think only makes me better.
He's grown a lot since he went pro, selected by Minnesota United in 2019 and rising through the ranks to become the 2025 MLS Goalkeeper of the Year.
It's De Rosario. It's saved!
The son of a Trinidadian father and a mother with roots in Scotland, he grew up with the game.
Are there divided loyalties?
Yeah, I'm sure my family over there will be cheering for Scotland. I remember when Trinidad made the World Cup, like, I felt like I wanted Trinidad to do so well at it. Obviously, Canada wasn't in it at that time, but I think anytime you have multiple countries that you feel a part of, you want all those teams to be successful.
A diplomatic answer, but for him, only one choice.
What do you think it's going to be like to be able to play on home soil?
A dream come true. Anytime you get the opportunity to wear the maple leaf on your chest, there's always a lot of pride and passion. And you're always playing and fighting for something that's way bigger than you, and to be able to kind of do that and look around the stadium and see so many Canadians cheering us on and wanting to do well, but also to show the rest of the world who we are.
A message he'll soon take to the pitch and share with the world. Omar Sachedina, CTV News, Toronto.
All right, Casey, give us the good news one more time for tomorrow.
Let's talk about it. The Get Up and Go forecast. Here it is, 7 o'clock in the morning. How about a little bit of sunshine? Yeah, sunshine across the board. A couple clouds in Barrie, 11 degrees. 11 degrees in Newmarket, nothing but sunny skies, and 12 degrees and sunshine in Gravenhurst. Jack and everyone out there, have yourself a fantastic long weekend. Back inside.
All right, that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Jack Morse. Thank you for watching. I'll be back on the desk at 11 o'clock. Good night.